Hey, what's up? This is Mez2 here, and that's because Enfin Leve have dropped Collection 14, the first half of it anyway. They're doing more in January, but for now we're being presented with some brand new pieces, some updates to older stuff being available in new materials, colours, and some kind of style updates as well. So there's a bunch of stuff. Enfin Leve as a brand in recent years been doing more futuristic, dystopian, very tech-weary approved things in the same kinds of materials that you will find being used by brands like Acronym, and customization options so that you can get things made to measure, have different features the way that you want them, etc, etc. So I feel like there's a lot to like about the brand. And anyway, they've got some cool new stuff, so I'm going to go through and pick out some of the things that I found most interesting, and yeah, we'll check them out on that basis. So first up, the Akita Bomber here. This comes in this new cold dyed green colour, which I think looks super nice, and I'm looking forward to seeing that implemented on different clothes as well, because I feel like that's something that could work quite nicely on different things. But anyway, I think this bomber is pretty cool. It's got this nice technical look. You've got these two floating pockets that kind of asymmetrical, kind of off angles, which I think looks quite cool. All of these different elements are like the same material as well, which is quite interesting. Normally you'd have contrasting materials on bomber jackets, but here not the case. So you've got this like all over single color look, which I think is really nice. And it has a thinsulate layer as well, meaning that it'll have a little bit of warmth to it, which is exactly what you want in a winter bomber jacket. The U-Hal is a Stotz jacket with some webbing hidden under two floating pockets, so you can not only use the multitude of storage options on this jacket already, but attach little pouches to this, and you've got some extra stuff as well. I feel like you'll have to be a bit careful with that, because that could easily bulk out those pockets and make you look a bit weird. But for a little peek, something interesting, just kind of poking out there, could look pretty cool. This is definitely the most extra jacket of the collection, because you got like a jacket sling on here, you got arm pockets, you got the floating pockets, removable hood as well, jacket sling, can't remember if I said that, but it's basically got it all. So if you want that kind of fully featured look, and you want that fully featured performance, then this is probably going to be the jacket to go for this season. The Ahitu hoodie has been given a winter update in quite an interesting way, because they've used this nylon face fabric backed onto a Polartech insulating layer. So that means that it's going to be a lot warmer than what you might expect from a hoodie. So could be nice as a mid layer. You want to give yourself quite a lot of warmth and then just chuck on a shell over the top. Or if you want to go shellless, you don't want to have that kind of very protected, grr, I'm wearing a jacket kind of look. You want to look a little bit more casual, but it's a bit too cold to wear a normal hoodie, then this could do the job instead. Quite a few things have been given an insulating winter upgrade this season. Definitely no bad thing, because it's not actually that common to have insulated jackets in this kind of tech wear space. Normally they are just shells, they expect people to layer up underneath, but if you don't want to do that for whatever reason, or you just know that you're only going to be wearing a jacket like this in the cold, then why not have a single layer insulated option? Anyway, the Urea, which came out last season I think, but was one of my favourite options then, that's been given a Polartech fleece-based option, Polartech Neoshell, which basically offers high levels of breathability and insulation. So it will keep you nice and warm, but you're not going to get too sweaty and overheat super quickly in it. Always a good thing to have one model that comes in a bunch of different specs, because then you can basically pick exactly what it is that you need from that jacket and have that configured to your exact specification. So yeah, if you're only going to wear this in colder climates, then this could be something to consider. It's maybe not quite as nice a look as like Stotz or Gore-Tex or something like that, but it does have the all-important warmth factor. Some of the pants have been given insulation as well, which is even rarer. The Orion and the Mez2 now come in a merino-backed Dryskin version, so you got all the nice stretchy, comfy performance of Dryskin, but with that nice next-to-skin feeling and all-important extra warmth of merino. So this is initially something that Neo Grotesque over on Instagram had made for him on request. And that was before they offered it as a product. But I think he's been pretty happy with them, and it's maybe even possible that they decided to make it a proper product on that basis. But either way, I think these are going to be really nice for cold climates, and it's not really something that other brands seem to be doing. In fact, it's worth talking more about the pants because there's been some interesting little design upgrades. Specifically with the Mez2, there's a brand new version for this season that have an updated cargo pocket design for a bit of a cleaner look, but at the same time maximizing storage capacity. And this is where there's a little bit of juicy tech wear drama involved, because these pockets, these ones right here, are extremely similar to ones that Acronym have used on some of their recent pants like the P30ADS. This is almost certainly an element that has been derived from Acronym, and I know people like to be very reactionary about that and do the whole kind of like, oh, it's just a copycat brand, etc, etc. I'll leave it up to you as to how much of a sticking point that is, And, you know, I don't think the Imeztus in general are a copycat product, but this particular feature I think is certainly too similar for it to be coincidental. It does look like a good upgrade, but you might not really be a fan of it for that reason. Or you might actually like the fact that Enfin Leve are making those kinds of designs available in a new product and at a more affordable, although still pretty expensive price. Maybe that debate's for another video, but I'll leave you to form your own opinion on that one. Anyway, talking more about the pants, the Imeztu and the Orion, they also come in this new colour, which is using the Stotz material, so quite different to Dryskin, but they call this one Earth. It's this really nice, kind of very light, very slightly kind of green-grey option. It's a nice break from the all-black looks we're used to seeing, and while these pants I think do look kind of cool with black stuff, I think people are really going to make the most of these if you've got other things that are kind of similar colour, so you can go for this like all autumn tone kind of outfit. Yeah, get those earth tones going. That could have some really cool stuff, and maybe a little bit different to what we're used to seeing in the techwear scene, which is always a good thing. Let's go back to jackets now and look at one of the most expensive pieces in the collection, the Hitson jacket, and this comes in a reflective aluminium finish. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a massive fan of like high sheen reflective jackets, so this one combined with that slightly yellowy colour that it seems to have, it's just not really one for me. I'm just not really feeling it. If I was going to go for a new Enfin Leve jacket with an experimental material, I would either go for the silver finish in the Zerain jacket, which I think looks sick, mega futuristic, or the kangaroo leather as well. Although that comes in at a pretty outrageous price, you can bet that that's going to be super nice to wear. Anyway, the Hitson also comes in Polartech alpha-backed Stotz, which reduces the price dramatically. It's still €900, so it's still quite a lot, but it has this cool chainmail finish, these like visible seams almost at certain points on the jacket, which make a very clean looking jacket, just kind of have that slightly dystopian feel about it as well. So I think something like that could end up being a really versatile piece, something that you could pretty much wear the whole time. I think it does a pretty good job of looking a bit different and interesting without having to rely on kind of face features and elements that are all over it. So this is maybe one for the minimalists, although you could always dress this up with an accessory or two and have a pretty cool, technical, kind of heavy detailing outfit. With the jacket just chilling there and looking pretty good doing it. Speaking of accessories though, let's dip into those quickly because they've got two, one of them brand new, one of them an existing design that's been updated with new materials. So the new one is this little vest that they've got here. The Additu it's called, and designed partly as an addition to one of the new parkas this season, but you can also pick it up separately as you can pick up the parka separately. I'm not a big fan of this, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like there's a little bit too much going on this. It's clearly designed much more with aesthetics in mind than actual performance. You can see that because like there's a zip that's blocked off by one of the straps. I think that kind of chest fastening thing has a little bit of a stuck-on appearance, and everything just in general, it seems to look very geometric, whereas a lot of the Enfin Leve stuff, it has these asymmetrical elements and different angles and stuff like this. It definitely looks better on and as part of a cohesive outfit rather than just something by itself, but yeah, I don't think this is the strongest piece in the collection by any means. What I do think is interesting though is the updated kind of sling bag holster design that they've had before. That's now available not only in that earth-coloured Stotz that we talked about before, which could make an interesting bit of contrast with an all-black outfit, or again, making use of those nice autumnal tones, but it also comes in the same kangaroo leather as we saw in that jacket a few minutes ago as well. And yes, that does push the price up significantly. This thing is now coming in at the best part of €600, making it quite the investment, but I think that's going to feel really, really nice next to skin. It's going to age really well, and I think a kind of design like this that wraps around the body, having a nice soft material like this leather, I think is going to end up working really, really well. More and more brands now are coming out with different options for holsters and stuff, so it's good to see new materials and stuff becoming available. Gorilla Group have already used leather in something like this, but they used the transparent apparition leather, which obviously has a very different look to this kangaroo leather. So this is still something that for the most part, and for now, is going to be relatively unique if you want something that looks exactly like this does. One other thing that I wanted to talk about is another new material, something that we perhaps haven't seen much from other brands. This is a coated denim that they're using in, I think, two products. There's the non-cargo version of the Imeztu, and they've got a new jacket as well, the Lahia, it's called. Yeah, this has this kind of retro, very tough guy kind of look about it. Looks quite protective as well, although maybe not the comfiest thing in the world to wear. Not sure because I've not actually worn it obviously, but I'm just going based on the look here. So this is possibly one of those like techwear adjacent garments. in that it'll probably look pretty cool with all this sort of thing, but it's not going to have the same kind of performance that Dryskin or Stotz or Gore-Tex or something like that would have. But if you take it with that in mind, this could be pretty cool. It's almost like the evil version of the Lahore shirt jacket that you might have seen in videos and stuff a couple of months back. And yeah, that texture that the coated denim gives, it's kind of similar to that cold dyed green. It's very, very worn in, it's very grungy, very dystopian. So it goes along with that kind of theme that Enfin Leve are progressing in. I feel like those were some of the most notable pieces of this collection. In general, I think things are fairly cohesive. I think looking at all of these pieces collectively, it's quite clear what Enfin Leve want to be, what they're trying to be, even if sometimes that is a bit of an acronym alternative or acronym light. But despite that, and despite some of those design elements being pretty similar, I feel like Enfin Leve is at its best when it's doing new things in terms of materials and offering that winter-ready performance in a way that other brands aren't really doing. So you've got that merino-backed Dryskin, you've got the Polartech stuff. So TLDR version, my top 3 things to get excited about: the merino-backed Dryskin for the cold weather performance in a way that other brands I don't think are really doing. There's the cold dyed green and the earth colours, which give a bit of an extra dimension to a very black heavy style. And I think the U-Haul jacket as well, with its very maximalist design and feature-rich kind of performance elements and stuff, I think that's going to be a real winner and something that I'd certainly be interested in taking a bit of a look at. And don't forget that one of the best parts about Enfin Leve is those customization options. So if you see, for example, that cold dyed green colour and you think, oh, I wish that this jacket came in that colour, then you can always request it, and it might be something that they're able to do. Similarly, if you're worried about sizing, you can give them your specific measurements and you can make sure that you get something that's fitted really nicely for exactly your size. So those are my thoughts on the new Enfin Leve collection. Let me know which one of these things was your favourite down there in the comments if you've had a chance to look through the lookbook and some of the new pieces. Do you kind of feel the same way as me? You're liking these new materials and those kinds of options? Or maybe there's something totally different that's caught your eye that I've not even mentioned in the video. Either way, let me know down there in the comments. Let me know what you think as well about that updated Hermes 2 pocket design as well, whether you're in favour of that or not so much. Maybe you prefer the old design. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like, because it is super duper extra appreciated. And that's everything. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks to everyone who showed up for the AMA over on the Techwear Clothing subreddit. There were some really good, thoughtful questions in there. It was really nice to hear as well that some of you guys have been inspired by these videos to look a bit more into the world of techwear and maybe pick up some of the stuff for your own. Yeah, it was really nice, and I thought it went really well. So I do always like kind of chatting with you guys and doing this sort of question answer thing. So yeah, definitely something that perhaps we'll see more of if that's something that you're interested in. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. If you want to catch some more stuff, there's going to be links going up at the top, of course. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what to say to you. You should do it. Go on. Just hit it.